come to that time where I relinquish the mic as the lead, and Ace and Dave, y'all pick who goes first, but y'all take over. We are on the Miami Hurricanes.
Oh
We
my
got there.
goodness.
We got 45 minutes. It's all right.
Man, we already 2
Lovely.
hours in. I don't know who you think got 45 minutes.
Well, we are here to talk about the runner-up in the national championship game with the Miami Hurricanes, who could have won if it wasn't for a turnover by none
No,
other
wait,
than
what was the
Carson.
turnover?
If it wasn't a turnover, none other than Carson Beck, of course. I'm not
What
going
was
to say
it though?
what he did.
Did he
Don't
fumble?
worry
He got
about that.
he got fooled. He got fooled. He thought the wide
Mhm.
receiver. He thought the cornerback was going to sit, and he went back. And you know what I mean.
But
If he put it to the pylon, maybe it wouldn't have been the pick, but he
There you
didn't.
go.
So
That's
what?
what it's called. It's called an interception to lose the game. My fault.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it was.
Call
That's
you
exactly
a-hole.
what it
That's all I
was.
can
It's okay. We can relive it. When the last time Michigan State been in
Hey,
say.
brother, this is not
Mm,
about the team. It's
mm.
about the
Don't be taking shots at
players.
our team then.
No, I'm taking a shot at your quarterback, not the team.
not a
Former
quarterback
quarterback.
anymore.
Former.
Hey, man.
He is now quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals.
And much
Um,
salute. Much respect to the
so
Cardinals.
the
Yeah, get that money.
Miami Hurricanes didn't have a lot of changes in the coaching staff. There was just that one main one. The running backs coach we had a change in the running backs coach. Now it's Fabian Upshaw. It's now our new running backs coach. But everyone else is pretty much the same. Kevin Beard is still there. Mike Vitti, Jason Taylor, of course. I mean, he's going to have that defensive line ready. Shannon Dawson, Corey Heatherman. Shout out to me. I got to say that because last year I predicted that we would have a top 50 defense, and it was actually a lot better than that. So, shout out to Corey Heatherman. And he brings an attitude to the defense. That's something that Miami has been missing for a very long time. So, definitely proud of that. And I mean, last year our offense was still pretty good. Defense changed. Defense got a whole lot better. Malachi Tony came out and was spectacular last year. Won the ACC Freshman of the Year. Ruben Bain. We had some key losses with Ruben Bain being gone, Akeem Massador being gone. Georgia Trader is now at Louisville.
NC State.
Yes, right. Yes, he say sorry. Emory Williams is gone. I mean, I can't. I can't really say it's a
He's at
key loss.
ECU.
So Raul Aguirre is a linebacker that we lost as well. But we had some really interesting incoming. Ace, you want to go ahead and talk about some stuff too?
Yeah, I mean, obviously losing Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor are going to be the two most glaring things about the different as far as differences in our team this year, as well as losing four of our starters on the offensive line. That's going to be very key, and it's going to be something that a lot of people are going to look at. However, if you want to talk about what we bring back arguably the best running back room in the nation. We bring back Malachi Tony, one of the most electric player in college football. We
Mm-hmm.
also bring back Josh Moore behind him, a rising sophomore who's looking to do big things. He's a very big wide receiver who, people are saying that I sound like Trump, but people are saying that he's very good and he's making a lot of strides in spring ball. With tight end, we bring back what is his name? Elijah Lofton, who people hope has a better season because tight end has been a position on our offense that has been a bit lackluster in the past seasons.
I had
Especially since we had Elijah
not
Arroyo for
McCormick.
sure.
Yeah, Royal.
Arroyo, but he kind of came out of nowhere, low key. But yeah, he didn't. Elijah Lawson is more of a blocking, like H back kind of tight end, where Arroyo was more of a wide receiver. But that's not to say that Lofton can't, put a little wiggle out there. I think one thing that's very underrated about our team, we bring back so many good defensive backs. Our secondary is going to be amazing. Like I think that we have one of the best, if not the best, defensive back rooms in the league. If you want to talk about Omar Thornton at safety, who's going to be stepping into, I want to say maybe that nickel spot where Keontae Scott was
Beyonce.
playing a lot last year. Um, we have Bryce Fitzgerald, who is a ball hawk, who will be playing safety. Zachariah Poisey, a former freshman All American, before he transferred to Miami. He's going to be in this. That's another thing. All these guys are going to be in their second year under Corey Heatherman's defense. So you
Mhm.
may ask, what is the soft spot in our defense? You could argue with our linebackers, but we're going to have Chase Smith coming back for I think his sixth year, and he's been the guy who athletically people have always thought highly of him, but injuries have kind of held him back. We got Mo Toure, who's going to be the heart and soul of that defense, an 8-year senior, a guy who's seen it all. But also, I think one thing that's kind of underrated about him, this is going to be his first year playing like linebacker in consecutive years. When he was at Rutgers, he played linebacker, but he also played edge a lot as well. So I
And he got
think,
hurt.
and he got hurt multiple years. So I think those things are going to help make it a lot more cohesive with him. And I think, now we'll be able to get certain calls where, maybe the depth of the linebackers can be affected a little more rather than just affecting the whole call. I think it's just going to be a lot more nuance in this defense. And I think it'll do nothing but help us, man. We got Damon Wilson from Missouri, who is a super dog. Like he's going to go crazy. I think Marquise Lightfoot on the other side is also going to be a name that a lot of people hear about. I mean, man, I can go on and on to be honest. I didn't even talk about Cooper Barkay. I didn't even talk about Venjarius Jacobs. I ain't talk about Cam Vaughn. I ain't even talking about JJ Dunnigan, who's looking to be like a freshman that will make an impact similar to Malachi Tony. But on the other side of the ball, he's a 6'1" track speed, 220 something safety who you will hear his name. I promise you. You are.
Yeah.
We got Damari Brown coming back from a lot of injuries, and a lot of people say Damari Brown is our best corner, even though we have Ethan O'Connor who was playing a lot in the playoffs in the championship game. We have OJ Frederick,
I was
who's
about to say, I was waiting on y'all to mention him.
a long
Mhm.
rangy cornerback at that, who should probably have a lot more picks than he has at the moment. You know what I mean? I think
Facts.
he's a guy who has the round one cornerback archetype that the NFL likes to see these days. I think all of our cornerbacks have that. Honestly, like we have very tall, rangy guys, and we have guys who could play man up. We have guys who could play zone. I'm blanking on somebody else right now, but we have
Xavier
that
Lucas.
legit. Xavier Lucas, another guy from Wisconsin, smart guy who's seen a lot of ball. We have legit four corners that we can play out there, and then we have at least three safeties that we know we could probably move around in different spots. Like this team is going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yeah, this team is definitely gonna be really good, man. I know you mentioned the offensive line. We have the top rated offensive tackle that came to our class, who's going to be starting, Jackson Cantwell. I think he's going to be
Mhm.
huge for the offensive line. One thing I could say is our offensive line. I'm not even worried about the offensive line. I think the offensive line is going to be fine. Our offensive line coach really does a great job at getting those guys prepared to be out there on Saturday. So I'm not too worried about that. What I will say is something that you had mentioned, Ace, when we went and got last year when we went and got Carson Beck out of transfer portal. You said you want to make sure that we don't become a transfer portal team. You don't
Right
want that to
quarterback.
happen.
Yeah.
I think that happens after the season because Darion Coleman, quarterback out of Florida, I'm hearing a lot of great things about him, and I'm seeing him. He's even been in spring training, like helping with the guys, and I think he's going to be huge for us the next season. I think he's going to be really good. Gavin Mueller, another tight end out of Illinois. I think he's going to be really good. It's another tight end. I know his last name is Briggs. I can't remember his first name, but Briggs. I think he's another guy who may shine. He reminds me not his game, but just his
Israel
size.
Briggs.
Yeah, Israel Briggs. I think he's going to be really good too. So he reminds me of just his stature and the way he and his speed. He reminds me of a little bit of George Kittle, kind of sort of, just the way that he runs and the way he can pass, catch, and block. So he reminds me of him just a little. I'm not saying he's exactly like him because he's not, but he reminds me of the way he plays, and I'm just excited for this year. I think this is going to be a really great year for Miami, and I mean, you want to get into the transfers?
Shoot, he already did.
Yeah, we did. But to your point about, I know we might be
Oh
getting a
yeah,
little ahead of ourselves, but to your point about not becoming a transfer reliant team going forward, I think that is something that they were very conscious of, especially after this past offseason. They've been working to do that. Aside from Darion Coleman, who I am very high on, I think that he's going to be very good. I mean, he has a quick release. I think the only knock on him right now is just that he's young. You know, he's kind of skinny. The weight room hasn't set in on him, and hopefully he can get like a like a red shirt a year this year. And because we don't necessarily need him. I mean, there is a drop off. Now this is the thing. There are two key vulnerabilities on this team this year that I see, and I think that is the center position and the quarterback position because we don't have the depth there that we have at other positions. We have extremely great depth at wide receiver, at
yeah.
defensive back, at
At
even
edge,
at the edge, even on the line in certain positions, but center isn't one of them, and those two guys have to hold up because I like Luke Nickel, but I don't think that Luke Nickel can step in and do the things like if Luke Nickel stepped in, it'd be worse than Carson Beck for sure. Like
yeah,
it'd be like damn near Jake Garcia out there. You remember them
Oh,
days, you know what I mean?
oh
yeah,
God.
But what I was saying about the quarterback position, like even Darion Coleman, we have Israel Abrams coming in, who's the top player out of Illinois. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So and he's doing active things to get some high level recruits coming in. Like we just got Eli Woodard out of California. We flipped him
Mhm.
from USC. You know what I mean? So
I say
Flipped
that
the
we
name
guy
sounds
from
familiar.
we flipped the guy from Georgia. So
yeah, that I want to say he was a cornerback. Yeah, he
mhm.
from California as well. So I think that this team is doing a great job of going into certain markets and plucking out those special players. And I have all the trust in the world in Miami and Mario in particular in this coaching staff. Like you say, I don't worry about the offensive line because I know Alex Mirabal is going to be doing this thing. And also
Yeah,
I know that these guys are going to be battling in the fire through practice. This is why Miami has physical practices. This is why when they bring recruits to their visits, they make them watch the practice and say, "Hey, is this what you want? Is this something that you could be up for?" Because the standard in Miami today is not the standard of years past. Like staying at the practice and being on the jugs ain't nothing. Like you really got to be there 5 in the morning working, you know what I mean, leaving at 7 and coming back the next day and doing it. And I appreciate that change. Like it's been a long time coming. So like when you look at things that Mario may have done in years past, not to excuse it, like the thing with Georgia Tech and the running the ball. Like now today I can see the mentality of what he was trying to instill in the team, even though it didn't work. And I think
hmm
that it's one of those things that like in the moment, because it didn't work, it looked crazy because it was crazy.
Still looks
But he
crazy.
wants he wants those but it was crazy, but he wants those guys to be that kind of crazy that we don't care if it's still time left. We're going to still impose our will on this team. And that's the thing that made us feel like a team of destiny last year in the playoffs because they had that chip on their shoulder. And I think that we still have enough guys to keep that core and that chip on their shoulder the same. Because no matter how you slice it, Mark Fletcher is the heart and soul of this team. And as long as he's there to be the verbal leader as well as leading by example and playing hard and doing these things and not forgetting those harder times in 2013, in 2024, it'll help us ultimately in this year because I think that we are in the middle of both. We had a crazy great offense in 24. We had a crazy great defense last year. This year we're going to be in the middle of both of those, and I think we're going to average over at least 35 points a game, and then probably keep people around 20, if not lower.
Very lofty expectations, man. I will say, no matter how you try to slice what Mario did, it's crazy. No matter when you look at it.
No, yeah. Look, I ain't excusing. I'm just saying that today
I
I
will
can
never understand
see
it. Nope.
the.
That's what
No,
I'm
no.
saying. I
Listen,
will
listen,
never
listen,
see. Don't
listen.
understand.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying because
Take a knee.
schematically it was dumb. It was stupid. Schematically it was stupid. However, I think if you're trying to instill a mentality in some young men, I do think it's something to say about just playing all the way through the whistle, and you may not have played the correct play in that moment. I'm just saying it just speaks to how he wants to put a dog in somebody, and I think it's showing its dividends now. And also, I think that Mario doesn't make those same mistakes that he has. I think
That I
that
will agree with.
he's kind of redeemed himself in a way. Like, granted, there may have been some questionable things like clock management at the end of the Texas A&M game, sure, or there was like this thing going into the half in the Natty. But I mean, aside from that, I mean, those are things that every coach kind of does for real, and it just depends on the win or the loss whether you talk about it.
All right, y'all. Y'all say what I had to say before I get a couple words in and we move on to the schedule.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I said
No,
as much.
this is y'all time. This is y'all time.
We just blew you. No, you got a Miami shirt on. You can say something nice.
I don't hate y'all. I told you my shots are more for Carson Beck than y'all, 100%. But
Sure.
I'm gonna say this: y'all are 100% national championship contenders, in my opinion, this year. I think what you said about y'all holding teams to under 20 points while putting up a ton of points is absolutely correct. Y'all should be in contention for the ACC, but that's kind of remaining to be seen because I just don't get it with y'all. But I'm high on y'all, super high on y'all. I think Darian Mensah is a significant upgrade than Carson Beck.
Significant.
Cooper Bearcat as a number 2 receiver, or if you want to say a number 1, and Malley as a jack of all trades receiver is significantly better than Keelan Marion and Malachi Tony. Mark Fletcher having that playoff run success is 100. I think he's going to be better than last year, and again, attribute that to the success he had in the playoff. O-line, I'm not sure if I can say that y'all are going to be a better O-line, but hey, man, y'all know more than me at this one.
I definitely wouldn't say better, but
I wouldn't say better, but
I think
say
serviceable. I think
yeah.
serviceable, sure.
Okay.
I'll say good. I'll say good.
Respect. But the thing that really takes y'all to the national championship contender to me is the amount of production that y'all return on the defensive end with Heatherman, like y'all said, as y'all DC. Because Heatherman, man, he has proven time and time again that he is a top DC. Now, not the best. It's 2 names I got in front of him. That's Jim Knowles and Matt Patricia, which are very great DCs in their own right.
I mean, Matt Patricia's a Super Bowl DC.
Yeah.
So.
But he's up there with those guys. It's just what I've seen from Coach Heatherman. So I kind of mirror a lot of y'all sentiments with Miami. Maybe foreshadow my record for y'all, but if that's, I know y'all touched on the transfer portal. I will say this: Cam Vaughn is a great addition. I mean, he was on Jack State 2024 when they won the Conference USA Championship. I think his production wasn't a indication of Cam Vaughn performance, even though he did drop a pass that led to one of my former coworkers' brothers throwing a pick. But it was more so the quarterback play of West Virginia, which was the reason why Cam Vaughn had the season that had. I think,
but he still didn't have a bad season.
Like, but it's not compared to his Jack State season. It's not good. But I think he has a resurgence with y'all. I do love the Victorious Jacobs pickups. Stole them from South Carolina.
I think he's going to be able to do a lot more with us than y'all.
Yeah. I mean, I think Darian Mensah is a better quarterback than Lenore Sellers. Y'all know I feel like Lenore Sellers is being very overrated in terms of the NFL draft. And this is coming from a South Carolina fan, so it is what it is. But yeah, and Omar Thornton is definitely a huge upgrade to a defense that really didn't need this upgrade, but for sure will take it. So,
I think he's going to be one of those guys that is going to help his draft stock a lot.
Yeah.
Similar to Jacoby Thomas last year, similar to Keontae Scott. Like a lot of knocks on those guys, similar to Omar Thornton, is that they can't really cover. So, and I think that is a valid thing when you talk about Motoré, but that's not who I'm talking about at the moment.
Motoré might be about in there in terms of at this point. Anyway, he might be an undrafted free agent. I mean, he's kind of older, or not even kind of.
Yeah. He is older.
But with that being said, we can get into the schedule. And I'm gonna ask y'all this before we get into the schedule. Does either one of y'all have Miami going undefeated?
Yes.
I do.
I knew that. I just had to ask for the people.
So just say what game you got us losing.
I would have y'all going undefeated. But for some strange reason, y'all always drop a game that y'all should not drop. And this year's game, I have y'all dropping, and y'all are gonna hate me for this.
Notre Dame.
Yes.
I knew it.
At Notre Dame. That is the game that I have y'all dropping that y'all should not drop.
I'm not mad at that. I'll say this. This is if we only lose to Notre Dame, fine, so be it. That affects nothing going into the playoff. If we beat Notre Dame and we lose, like say we go 10-2. That's a bad season.
The theme the last 2 years was 10-2.
For sure. But that's a bad season for us, depending on like if we lose to Louisville and we lose to I'm sorry.
Y'all don't play Louisville this year.
Yeah,
unfortunately for y'all. Y'all don't have it, bro. Y'all should not. If we
lose to Clemson and we lose to Notre Dame, we're not that affected going into the playoff or going into the championship if that's where we're going. But if we lose to 2 ACC teams and beat Notre Dame, then we got a problem.
I was about to say the only game in the ACC that I think y'all can lose is Clemson. Other than that, y'all should erase the rest of the ACC games y'all play.
But also the one of the main reasons I think we're going to go undefeated is because we'll have time to settle into the offensive line, the offensive in itself. Like we're going to have a couple weeks before we get into.
Stanford, Florida A&M, Wake Forest, Central Michigan before Clemson.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even then after that, like even going into like maybe if we overlook North Carolina or something, maybe if we're lackadaisical going into Pitt or maybe Duke the week after Notre Dame, like those could possibly be little jumps. Maybe
little trap games.
Yeah, maybe like I don't think Stanford because that's going to be the first game of the season, even though we're going across the nation. And I think it's on a Friday. Like we have a lot of weekday games earlier in the season. But again, I think we have time to get everything
that's going
together.
To save us because the weekday game we had last time was later in the season. So
yeah, and also the offensive line isn't immaculate. I mean, look at what Darian Minson did with the offensive line he had at Duke. He was constantly under pressure, constantly.
That's the upgrade.
And he got legs, more weapons. You know what I mean? So,
he has legs. He takes care of the football. That's why I think
Mally done put on weight. Hopefully he won't have no fumbling issues this year.
Yeah, because didn't he almost lose one against Ohio State?
Yeah, almost. That don't bounce right back in his hands. I think it was two. Two he almost lost.
I think one of them almost got to Caleb Downs. I think Caleb Downs might have knocked it out, actually.
Yeah, he did. He did. He put his head right on that jump.
Yeah.
But again, we got so much. We got so much, and then we got young dudes too. Milan Paris, Dalen Upshaw. Like we got some dogs, man. I ain't gonna drag it.
I think the general consensus is that we not only all have the over 10.5, but ACC championship should be at play for Miami.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all on who they playing. That's all.
So I got them going 11-1, 9-0 in conference play. Dave and Ace has them going 12-0, 9-0 in conference play. And spoiler, that is my one ACC championship team. The next one, you'll find out later.
That's my team that wins the Natty. So
well, I could have figured that. My Natty episode is weeks down the line, so.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button, no matter what you're listening to or watching it. Hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.